The past few days, we've all been wildly speculating about the future of Ubisoft and why they decided to delay all of these reports they were supposed to release and halted trading. But now we know that it basically just boils down to poor accounting because this company is ran by absolute idiots. But to top all of that off, we are seeing them yet again damage controlling in regards to Assassin's Creed and the media doing the same. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, you cannot trust everything that every company says. Unless they are releasing cold, hard numbers, then really they could just say whatever they want about their product, and we know that the access media loves to grab onto statements made by CEOs when they're describing their AAA and quadruple A games doing so good, because of course the media needs the access, and without the access they are no longer the media. YouTubers, streamers, content creators have ultimately started very quickly replacing the Kotakus, the gamers, the Polygons, and they need access to early review codes and interviews and information. And so what we see is them straight up lying about what Yves Guillemot said about the state of Assassin's Creed. And of course, we have gotten a little bit more information about why they delayed all of the information. And really, it does just boil down to Ubisoft being filled with idiots. I think we all already knew that that was the case, but man, oh man, is it funny to actually see it being confirmed. So, overseeing the very likely reason for the delay, an accounting issue following its auditor's position as part of its review of the H1 financial accounts, the company has reviewed its analysis relating to the IFRS 15 revenue recognition of a partnership in FY 24-25 that has led it to restate its 24-25 accounts as per IAS 8. Utilization-based payment schedules led this partnership to be recognized under IFRS 15 as revenues over utilization. The position now applied by the group going forward has also resulted in a partnership signed Q2 25-26 not being recognized in the revenues. So it does give a little bit of information, so it's not really a proposed buyout, it's more of just internal accounting problems and bookkeeping issues, which is just so funny to see happening. We've known that this company clearly isn't being ran by people with a full brain. It's being ran by half-wits because they continuously make poor decisions when it comes to greenlighting games and content in games and really not listening to their customers. And we, of course, are seeing now that really being proven correct, though Ubisoft apparently is tapping Tencent money to pay off breach loan agreements, which I also thought was really curious. It said that it will use money from a Tencent investment to pay off debt after the video game publisher breached a loan agreement because of its accounting practices. Its shares, which had been halted for a week, surged. Auditors found that Ubisoft, the publisher, had improperly booked sales from a partnership as revenue under international financial reporting standards, the company said. The review also required the French publisher to postpone recognizing some revenues. Ubisoft offered quick reassurance to investors about the accounting issues by tapping the Tencent money. So they have already acknowledged all of this, and a lot of people were, of course, speculating that maybe Ubisoft was finally going to go through a buyout. Maybe the Tencent deal had fallen through. There were so many different pieces of speculation. Now we know the truth, though what I find most interesting in, of course, all of this is the damage control that is now being done for Assassin's Creed Shadows specifically, because there are several different posts being put online by either the access media or journalists saying things like Assassin's Creed Shadows is overperforming, says Ubisoft. Ubisoft generated 567 million this quarter, up 39% year on year. But as you will find out in just a minute, this is another example of why you should not trust the access media, because it's not just Assassin's Creed Shadows that is overperforming, it's the entire franchise. So it says, according to Guillemot, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been a hit for the company this year. While actual sales numbers weren't revealed during the call, first red flag, Guillemot stated that the entire franchise was overperforming. So while, yes, I'm certain that Assassin's Creed Shadows has sold a couple million copies and it's doing pretty decent for them, it's not the only reason why this franchise is overperforming right now. And of course, the media is painting it as if they're saying that Assassin's Creed Shadows is this big, wonderful, magical game for them, when it most likely isn't. And they also did not confirm sales numbers. They didn't reveal sales numbers, which I always think is such a major red flag, because if your game is doing so good, you'd think that they would want to scream that to the heavens. They would want to put that on display. They would want to prove us wrong, and they would want to prove that they are actually doing all right. Now, another big reason why the franchise is overperforming right now is because of Assassin's Creed Mirage's newest expansion, Valley of Memory, pushing the game's player count beyond 10 million. And we don't know when the long-awaited Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is going to come out, or when we're really going to get more information on that. But also add all of those to the fact that now Tencent has taken over control of Assassin's Creed, and Vantage Studios is going to have their hands on it. Yeah, that would also probably give people a little bit more hope in the series. So it's not just Assassin's Creed Shadows doing so wonderfully right now, it's several different factors that are why Assassin's Creed is actually doing apparently a little bit better than they expected. It's overperforming now. Also, keep in mind, if they were expecting Assassin's Creed Shadows to do trash numbers, and they weren't expecting people to come back for the Valley of Memory expansion for Mirage, and they were really expecting this series to do bottom of the barrel this year, that also could be why it's overperforming. But even putting that aside, we know that on Steam, Shadows hasn't done great. The all-time peak was 64,825 players. A reason for this is also the fact that it did go on to Ubisoft's subscription service day one, and I mean, it is on other consoles, but we don't have any sort of numbers pointing to that doing oh so well and it doing oh so fantastically. I know other people are also pointing out how, you know, the media is manipulating this. This is how they lie. The exact quote is about the franchise overall, not Shadows, and revenue 39% higher because last year, this time, they did not launch an Assassin's Creed Shadows game. It's like comparing a movie year when there is a Marvel movie versus a year where no Marvel movie was released. Yeah, but we can't expect these people to be honest. We can't expect these people to actually tell the truth, because then they would be completely irrelevant. And if the Ubisofts of the industry go under, they no longer have access, and they will not be the media. And don't forget that just a few weeks ago, we found out that Assassin's Creed Shadows was the lowest selling release across the last 5 entries, even though it had the largest budget you would think for putting hundreds of millions of dollars into a game and its marketing. They would be able to muster up the numbers that they needed, but that wasn't the case with this game. And again, I'm certain that Assassin's Creed Shadows did sell a few million copies. I always expected 3 to 4 million copies, when the estimate was that it needed about 7 million copies to be deemed a success. We haven't heard even close to those numbers, just 5 million players, which doesn't equal sales, especially when it's on a subscription service. So who knows how good this game is actually doing right now. There are people out there who are going to say it's doing amazing. You don't have proof of that just like I can't sit here and say it's doing absolutely abysmal, and I wouldn't say that because I'm certain it didn't sell 5 copies. I bet it did sell a couple million, but at the same time, we're talking about Ubisoft being very particular with the wording that they're releasing, the media twisting it to be completely dishonest, and I don't think any of us are surprised by this, but it seems that Ubisoft is still facing a lot of problems because they're not releasing sales. They are apparently being ran by complete idiots, and really, while the series is doing good and overperforming, this particular game isn't. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.